We are seeing a trend in SaaS and technology in general towards stack consolidation. We're also seeing more efficiencies being brought to the priority table and saying, look, we've got to make this thing work better. We need more ROI out of the stuff that we're getting and the people that we've got working on this stuff. And the big question is, why after, I don't know how many years we've been doing this, but why after such a long time are we still trying to put all of the things in a central place so that when you're building a product, you can see your code, you can see your design, you can see your documentation, you can understand where it's all living? Why are we still struggling with that? And why can we as Knapsack speak to that problem?
Yeah, I think, in many ways, it comes down to this illusion, this idea of the single source of truth, right? And when you strive for that, like the reality of work and how complex organizations, cross-functional teams collaborate and need to just do their individual jobs, it rarely supports a true single source of truth, right? The design team's got a source of truth, the team doing accessibility testing, the team writing code, the team QAing the product, your users, right?
Yeah.
And so this idea of one thing is kind of leads us astray, and what it actually leads to is disconnection, right? Instead of all these things being really tightly connected, we have there's iframes, there's ways that things get pulled into each other, but ultimately everyone's looking at different stuff, and it erodes trust and confidence in is this right? This isn't, these two don't match, and none of them match what the users see. I'm not sure what to do, right? And so we see it always starts nice and in unison, right? And then a few years in, these teams hit this point where we got 40 of everything, or I don't know what's right? And so I think we actually kind of started with a misconception of what we even should be shooting for.
And do you think that there is a possibility that we could find a single source of truth, or do you think that we're getting closer to that?
I think what we're doing, what we're certainly trying to do at Knapsack is create, it sounds silly, but a central source of truth where you can see and start to interact with and access and kind of, to your point earlier, like put a circle around all of the different things in your stack, all the different places a thing might exist, how it might look. And so, we're on a path to AI. Maybe someday the robots will be good enough, probably pretty soon, to actually build code that we're putting in our product and like connect Figma to React, if that's your world. But the reality today is that we need to make it easier to facilitate those human workflows, not assume that what I see here looks like what I have here, recognize they look different and it looks all different than the third thing, and then help manage that process. Because it's never like build the thing and it's ready and cool, we're good, let's move on, right? It's a constant nurturing, whether you're talking about a design system or just, whatever, a brand library, right? Constantly being able to keep that thing up to date and manage the realities of your work at scale. That's a hard thing, right? But we need to kind of embrace that and again, lean into the fact that there's a little bit of chaos there.
I like that. So instead of trying to create this nirvana of a single source of truth, which really isn't the reality of any situation, rather have a set of ideas that bring the central source of truth together. In other words, allow React, allow Figma, allow documentation to exist, but bring them together in a way that you as the engineer, the designer, the product person can see them all and understand how they're affecting each other, and at least have visibility so that you don't fall into the trap of thinking it's done or thinking it's right.
You said it right there, right? The visibility idea is huge. Visibility and that clarity of, understanding what each other have to work with. What it ultimately means in very tangible terms is you don't get to QA thinking you're about to launch and realize, nothing looks like what was approved as a comp and everyone's confused, right? You have those disconnects, but they happen way earlier where it's easier to solve for. We can say, oh, cool, I know what it's going to look like. Let's just get this out quick. I can even, it turns out we didn't have to design the whole landing page when I can just kind of see how it could come together and give clear direction to an engineer to build and ship. So it's really more about that way of working and enabling that way of working where we are reusing and iterating on stuff we've made continually, more so than saying we got the Lego pieces, everything's going to be better now, right?
Yeah, got it. Cool. I like that idea of the Lego concept as well. Like you've got the Lego pieces, you've got the instructions, you've also got the finished product that you're looking at, so you can all see the things, the components, and how it was assembled. Okay.